Hey, it's Sylvia from Write Your Life, and in today's video, I'm going to show you how I make a calendar for Camp Nanowrimo. So if you've been following the wonderful women of One Book July, you know they're all going with a different past theme from years before, and I decided that I would go with digital planning. I know, the analogers are freaking out right now. But that doesn't mean that I'm not going to do some regular, on paper planning. It just means that I thought I would do a couple of videos as to why I find online planning an important tool. So the first thing I thought I would show you is something that I really do need, and that is a calendar for Camp Nanowrimo. For those of you who don't know, Nanowrimo is National Novel Writing Month, where you write 1,667 words every single day for a total of a little over 50,000 words in a month. It's a challenge, just like a push-up challenge. You decide the word count if you want, and that's what's really great about the camps. They're a little bit more lenient, and I'm going with 25,000 words for Camp July 2020 in case you're watching this in the future. So I just need a simple calendar that's online that can go with me anywhere I go as long as I have access to the internet, and I do have this app on my phone, so I will definitely have it wherever I go. So let's get started. Now, I've only been using Google Sheets and Google Docs for about almost 3 weeks, so there's a lot I don't know, but that's okay. I'm going to teach you what I know anyway, and then you can correct me down below or tell me an easier way to do it because I'm learning and I'm here to learn. So let's get started. The first thing you're going to need is a Google account. I think it's easier. I believe you can still use Google Sheets and Google Docs without one, but let's go over to what my niece calls the waffle. It's also labeled Google Apps. Now, if your icons look different than mine, that's because you can rearrange them any way you want to. I tend to arrange them in the order that I use them the most. So here we go to Google Sheets. We're going to choose to use a blank spreadsheet. So up here at the top, you can rename it. Also down below at the bottom, you can rename this tab here. So we're just going to call this Camp Nano July Calendar. So the first thing I'm going to start with will be numbers. So there are 31 days in the month. Easiest way to do it is to push 1, return, 2, return, go up to column B, row 1, highlight it, hold down the shift button, highlight B2, bingo, just kidding. Go over to this little square in the corner, get the plus sign, pull it down to 31. And there you go. Then we can go over to the next column and do our days of the week. So July 1st starts on a Wednesday, and I'm just going to do cap lock. That way I don't have to worry about it. Then we're going to go back to column A, row 1, highlight it, hit shift, click, get over to the corner, get that plus, and pull it all the way down to 31. Let go, and that is done. So now we need to talk about our goal for Camp Nano. So mine is 25,000 words. If you were doing regular Camp Nano, your goal is 50,000 words for like a minimum of a novel. That would be 1,667 words. You can put that here. Now, in order to make the pattern repeat, all you have to do is add 1,667 words plus 1,667 words. And you're going to get a total of 3,334. Go back up to column H1, highlight it, hold down the shift, click on H2, find your little square and your plus sign and pull it all the way down to 31. And there you go. So now in November, you have 30 days. So you get a little over 50,000 words, whereas in July you have 31. So you're going to get a little bit more. Now, like I mentioned, I'm not going to be doing the 50,000. I'm doing half because I'm a realist, and I think that 20,000 words is doable for me. So we're going to delete that. We're going to come over here, and I have gone ahead and I've averaged out 25,000 divided by 31 days gives me 806 roughly. So we're going to do 807 for my word count every single day. And so you're just going to add that to 807, which is 1614. And then that's going to give Google Sheets what it needs to create a pattern. And we're just going to push Shift and pull this all the way down. And you'll see at the bottom that we get a little over 25,000 words. Now let's say that you want to go by minutes. Now Camp Nano used to be able to allow you to go by minutes by page count. So if you wanted to write like 4 Google Doc pages a day, you could use that. But now they don't have that function anymore. I think it's all in words, but you can keep that off to the side if you wanted to. So for instance, if I wanted to do my word count, but I also wanted to know how much time I'm spending. So I wanted to do it in minutes. You could do that off to the side in a column. So let's say that I wanted to write for 60 minutes a day. Double that here so Google Sheets knows what to do. We're hitting Shift, highlighting D2, and pulling this down. And now you know exactly how many minutes you should have at the end of every single day for 31 days. Now this is in hour increments, so you could do an hour and a half by doing 90 and doubling that. And there you go. Again, if you wanted to do pages, you could do that over here, but that's not something that I care to do. So let's go ahead and make this a little nicer. Now at the bottom of the screen, you're going to see a total, and you're going to see that there are total amounts for each of the 3 columns. You can just ignore those. I was showing you how to sum up an entire column if you wanted to. They don't actually work for these columns because there already is a total at the bottom. So don't worry about that. I will correct it later on in the video. So the first thing I want to do is make a header. If you go up to row 1 and click on it, and then go up to insert, you can put row above or below. We want one above, and we're actually going to do 2. So now you can click in A1, and let's see, I think I want to go to G just in case I want to add some extra stuff. And I'm going to hold down the Shift button and click in G1. I'm going to go up here to where it says select merge style. I'm going to do all, and now we have a box that's open that we can write in. And I can come up here and copy this, put it down in here. You can name this whatever you want. I'm going to make this font bigger. There we go. And it will push the cell down usually, and it does. And then you can center it over here in the corner like that. We can change the color. So I think I want to make the font white, or the text rather, and the background black. There you go. And I'm not really excited about this text, so why don't we change that as well? Hold down the Shift button, come all the way over here. I like that one. We can also go over here and center all of this if we'd like, just to make everything look a little bit more uniformed. So let's do some subtitles up here at the top. So I'm going to make this gray, and we can write days. Put a number here if you want to. You can write daily goal, daily total, or name it whatever you like. And then I'm going to write minutes over here to the side. I am going to leave it an hour and a half. So here is where I will actually put what my actual daily total is. So say that day I write 847 words. I'm going to keep that there. And I think this is nice just to know if I decided to go by minutes, what an hour and a half would look like each day. And just for fun, I'll put pages up here. And then there's space for something else if I think of anything else I want to track. So this could be done for right now. You could print this out and you could handwrite in the rest of the information, or you can add it every single day. This can be completely finished, but I like mine to be a little bit more divided up. I like to take my weeks and divide them week to week. So we're going to go ahead and do that. We've already added rows. Let me show you how to add columns. So if you click on column A, go up to insert, column to the left or right, we want it on the left. Come down here, and I am going to consider my first week, day 1 through 7. So I'm going to click in A3, hold down the shift button, and come down to A9. Go up here, I'm going to merge, and that allows me a nice big box to write in. And I'm going to write week 1. And I'm going to go up here to where it says text rotation. I'm going to pick the one with the up arrow so it goes that way. I am going to spacebar this over a little bit so it's a little more centered. That looks okay. And then I'm going to pull the column back to make it smaller. You can also resize the columns by doing this. Click on column A, shift, click on column H, and then there's this down arrow. You can go to resize column AH, and it says they are at 46 roughly, and that's probably because of the column A is smaller. So you can push cancel, go up here, click on column B, shift H, down arrow, resize B to H. It says 100. We can make it 115, just a little bit bigger. You can also take a column like this and make it smaller if it doesn't need all that space. So resize manually, or whatever you like. You can even make all 3 of these the same size. So the more you play around with Google Sheets, the more you'll learn. I've never worked in an office setting, so I never had to learn Excel or anything like that. I think I learned a little bit about it when I was in high school 100 years ago. But most of that information was like algebra and went in one ear and out the other. So I really didn't retain it, being honest. Okay, so now we can continue with this by pushing copy, paste, which is Command C if you have a Mac. And we want to go column A10 down to A16. Push Command V or copy paste. That looks nice. And we're going to continue that all the way down to the bottom. Okay, so we've got that done. We can click in here and change them to week 2, week 3, week 3, week 4, and week 5. You can divide your weeks however you wish. Now I'm going to add some rows in between to divide this a little bit more. So I'm going to click on row 9, go up to insert, and I want to insert below, and I'm going to add 3 rows. I'm going to take row 11. Actually, I don't want to do it all the way across, so I'm going to click on A11, hold the shift, come all the way over to H, go up to fill, and do black. Then this one is going to be gray, and so will this one. Then I can take this row 2, push Command C, come down here and push Command V. That way when I scroll up, I don't lose my subtitles. And this second row here allows me to put totals in for the week, so I can just write total here. And then put the total for this one, this one, this one, and this one, and whatever I decide to put over in H. Okay, so now we can click on 10, hold down the shift, and click on 12, push Command C, go down to the next week, go down to 19, go up to insert, we want to insert below 3 of them. I'm going to click on 20 and push Command V and continue on. Okay, so that is all done. With this last row, we can go ahead and turn all of this gray. Since we're not really going to be writing in it, it has less days than the rest. So you can turn it gray like that, that way you'll know, or you can go ahead and do something else like put little dashes in here, or just leave it blank. It's whatever you want to do. I'm believing, since there are 5 weeks, even though this is a short week, I know that at the end of every single week, I have to write a total of 5,000 words. So I can, copy this and put this here, just randomly until I decide what I want to put in this column for later. And I might end up deleting something from the column when I realize that I'm just really not going to go by minutes or pages. But for this tutorial, I think it's important to show you how it looks anyway. Go through here. And if you want to clean things up more and center things more, it's just how much you're willing to do all at once or not at all. I like things to be kind of centered. So I really love planning and making calendars in Google Docs and Google Sheets because it's very easy to do. And I like that no matter what planner I'm in, because I am a planner addict and I tend to change planners every so often, I don't have to rewrite this. Even if I changed planners 6 times in the month of July, this will always be in the same place and the same size, which makes me so happy. Also know that right now we're in 100%, but you can go up here and make it bigger so that you can see more, all the way to 200. So if you just wanted to focus on 1 week, that's what it would look like. Hopefully everything's spelled correctly. It's very difficult to actually do this as you're talking. So for my first real try at this, I think it's okay. So Camp Nano July calendar 2020 is done. Is there anything else that you guys would like to add to a calendar like this? Maybe something I didn't think of? Let me know in the comments down below, because I might end up later on being like, yeah, that's totally something that I want to use. Now you can certainly change this color if black is not your thing. You could go with more of a mauve toned color. Very simple to change that. If you wanted to add to the next month, let's say you're going to do a different challenge, like a push-up challenge, in August, you can go ahead and just copy and paste this entire thing by going here, holding the shift and going to the last one, push Command C, skip a couple of rows and push Command V, and then you have the next month, and you can decide what you want to delete. So you can come over here, click all the way down, hold your shift, push delete, and all of that column is deleted so that you can go ahead and restart your formula with whatever day of the week that, I don't know, August starts with, and go on from there. And this can be continued for all of your writing progress. Maybe you decide you're going to revise in August. You can certainly do that and keep stats for that down here. You can also go off to the side, so you can copy and paste and go to the side if you wish. It just really depends on what you want to do. You can also go down here, click on 57, pull all the way down, hold down the shift button, click on 1014, go up to edit, and then delete all of those extra columns so that, you know, it doesn't get lost. You can do the same over here to the side. You can, let's leave like a couple extra. You can click on J, pull it all the way to the right, hold shift, click on AA, go up to edit, delete, and then just have what you've created. And you can always add more if you need to. Okay, so I took some time to go over and add in the totals. So unlike before where we'd click up here in the first cell of the column and then hit shift and click on the last cell in that column and then go to hit sum at the top, we already know that this is the last total number. So I just went ahead and put those in. Okay, that all looks correct. I will check this later when I'm off screen, but yeah, you get the gist of it all. And so I went ahead and I skipped these, went down here. You can certainly move this column up and it'll just be a more narrow, but for aesthetic, I like that it's very pleasing to the eye that they're all equal in size. So you can go ahead and put these dashes in or make it gray or do whatever works best for you. So I can go ahead and put in, let's put weekly total here. Okay, and that is how I make my Camp Nano July calendar for 2020. I think that's it. So would you guys use this as an online planner? I love the fact that down below there is a plus button. So you can say add sheet, go over here, and you can name this whatever you want. So we can just do Camp 2020. Go over here and you can make one for steps. And you can copy and paste this in here, delete what columns you don't want to use, that way you don't have to start from scratch, and go ahead and make another calendar just for your steps. You can add as many as you want down here and the tabs will go down below. You can make another one here so you can see the difference between the two, and go back and forth. So you can have several calendars for different things all in one Google Sheet. Is that what you would call it? I would usually say in one document. So I think that's pretty awesome. I can keep my YouTube in here and anything else that I want to keep digitally. You can share this. So let's say that you were going to work on your health and you got a group of people together and you're like, let's all get together and let's weigh in every single week. You could do something that looks like this, a weekly chart of your weight. And instead of having all these different columns with different information, you could have people's names so that you can have weight for each person that's in your group. And then you can go up here to the green marked shared, and you put in people's emails, and then they can also edit if you want them to, or they can just view, it just depends. And you can share this information or this calendar, which is kind of awesome. And so I think in the next one, I'm going to show you how our YouTube group for our sprints puts together a calendar that we all share and are able to look at and edit. So, all right. I hope that this was helpful. Let me know down below any tips and tricks that you have or videos that you think are helpful to make this go from where I am. Again, I've only been doing this for about 3 weeks, but I'm always, willing to learn more. All right. My name is Sylvia. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.